Hello and welcome to Can't Cook with Jason today, where we're going to make fakeaway KFC fried chicken strips with buttered corn, but oven baked instead of deep frying. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, post comments and hit like please. Because we are oven baking the chicken instead of deep frying it, we will need a few tricks to help get the batter to adhere and stick to our chicken. I've tried lots of different methods and this is the most consistent. First, we're going to need 2 eggs, so crack them into a bowl and whisk lightly. Next, we need some chicken. As with any fried chicken recipe, I always marinate the meat in some buttermilk overnight in the fridge, as this gives a super juicy and moist meat. If you want to max out the flavour, you can add some of the secret herb spice mix into the buttermilk, but I find this is a bit of a waste, so I don't really bother. We need our supposedly leaked secret KFC blend of 11 herbs and spices. I tend to make quite a large quantity of this and then store them in airtight kilner jars until needed. Okay, and lastly, some plain old flour. Nothing fancy here, just don't use expensive Tipo 00 flour like I once did by accident. Mistake! So I suggest getting a large bowl, which will be your main mixing vessel, with plenty of room, as you want to be quite vigorous when bashing and smashing that coating into your chicken so that it sticks really well. Throw in your spice mix, but not all of it in one go, as you can always add more. Then in another smaller bowl, add in some of the plain flour, and this will be used as a first coating for your chicken. Now get everything laid out really nicely, as you'll start to go through a little process here and feel like you belong in a greasy KFC kitchen. Okay, so the process is, step 1, put the chicken into the plain flour and coat well. Step 2, put the chicken into the egg mixture and make sure all of the chicken piece is wet. Step 3, put the wet chicken into the large mixing bowl with that 11 herbs and spice blend. Then bash, smash and press it into the chicken as well as you can. It's a little tricky to show you this on camera as I can't seem to fit everything onto the shot. But anyway, here's another angle. So chicken into the plain flour. I tend to work with 3 pieces at a time. Coat really well and then dip the chicken into the egg mix, taking care to completely wet the chicken. And then shaking off any excess eggage. Then repeat with the other 2 pieces of chicken. So into the egg mix, get it all wet, shake off excess, and into the herb and spice mix. Then dredge well, poke, smash, stab, roll, whatever you fancy, as long as you can get that coating stuck on really well. Ideally, you want the chicken to look something like this, evenly coated. Once all the chicken pieces are coated, grab your best non-stick baking trays and drizzle over some vegetable oil. 1 or 2 tablespoons is enough. You can add butter if you really want, but just be careful that it doesn't burn. Then add the prepared chicken pieces into the pan. Make sure you leave sufficient space between the pieces so they all get evenly cooked and there's no steaming in between. Lastly, drizzle some vegetable oil over each chicken piece. Again, around 1 tablespoon is sufficient. When ready, put the tray into your preheated oven and bake at 200 Celsius for about 15 minutes. Whilst that cooks, it's time to make our buttered corn cobs. So grab a large wide bowl and then grab a smaller bowl and put it upside down in the bottom. Don't worry, there's a method to this madness. Credit to Joshua Wiseman for this trick actually on YouTube. Then grab your fresh corn on the cob and put it on the little bowl and carefully slice down to cut off the little cobs. By using this nifty bowl setup, the little cobs will fall off and stay in the bowl. Whereas if you did this on a chopping board like I used to, those little cobs literally bounce all over the show with half of it falling on the floor, leaving you with some questionable 5-second rule choices. Look at that lovely chopped corn. Beautiful. Beats corn out of a tin any day. We're going to use a small frying pan or saucepan for this. Chuck in about 50 grams of unsalted butter and swirl the butter so it melts evenly. Now once it gets frothy, it's time to add in that lovely cut corn. Stir and toss well to ensure each piece of corn is coated in that butter, and then fry on a low to medium heat, checking regularly to ensure no colour or burning. Whoopsie! My tossing skills failed me. Get back in the pan, guys. You don't want to overcook the corn, else it will get too soft and squishy. We're almost just toasting them and cooking just enough so they will become ridiculously sweet but retain a crunch and a bite with that texture. So no more than 3 to 4 minutes on a low to medium heat. If you want, then chuck in some salt and pepper to season, then put aside once done. After 15 minutes in the oven, let's check our chicken. By this point, the bottom of the chicken should have crisped up nicely and the coating well cooked and hardened. But take care with some tongs to slowly and carefully flip each piece. And again, make sure they are spread out and then back into the oven for another 10 minutes. If you're looking a little dry, then you can always add a bit more oil. Okay, the chicken is done by now. Wow, check out those bad boys. KFC, eat your heart out. Look at that batter and coating. There's no way you'd think this was oven baked. It's crispy, it's gnarly, and way healthier than deep frying. Grab some fresh chive and finally chop this ready to garnish. Obviously optional. So you can eat this chicken just by itself or as an epic snack food. Let's take a look inside. Come on, look at that. Beautiful. If you want to have this as a proper meal, then I like to serve mine with a side of spicy rice and then that lovely buttery and sweet corn, which is just so simple and fresh but helps cut through the heavy chicken and rice. There you go guys, oven baked crispy southern fried chicken with rice and corn. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts, like it and please subscribe. Thanks again and catch you guys next week.